morning, lads.
Yeah, good day, mate.
Full credit to the boys.
All right, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the return of the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast, episode number 12. We've got 8 people here already. Joining me tonight, unfortunately, Warriors and NRL fanatics couldn't make it. NRL Vid 090 is having connection dramas. And joining me tonight on the podcast, special guest, we've got Trevor from Shut the Gates. How you going, Trev?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. How you going yourself?
That's good. Can't complain. And then we've also got the 19th man, or Paddy G, call him what you like, the 19th man, his new little name change and, whatever. We've got the 19th man, Paddy G, in the house. How are you, Paddy G?
I'm all right, mate. Name changed, still the same old geezer, though. So
do we call you the 19th man or do we call you Paddy G?
Oh, you know what? Because since you're special, you can call me Paddy G.
Right, we got say hello to the chat. We got a few people rolling in. Who else is here? We've got like 11 people at the moment. We've got Billy, Rugby League History's here, Gus Knows Footy, CJ Moxley's here, you got Ryan, the Cronulla supporter, CJ is here, Stephen, Jason, Kurt, and yeah, we've got a few people in the chat, but make sure you guys go and check out the 19th Man's YouTube channel, Paddy G, you guys know who he is, and go and check out Shut the Gates as well on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed, go and smash that subscribe button. You won't regret what you watch. I guarantee you that. Anyway, let's rip into it, boys. You know, there's not really there's no time to waste. But we'll go from topic number 5 to topic number 1. And what we'll do, I don't know where my notes are going. Hang on, where my notes going? Oh, here we go. Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't you hate when you just accidentally delete stuff? You don't even realize.
Can't win them all.
Oh, man, it's been a while since I've done the podcast, so I guess I've got an excuse there. But here we go. Topic number 5. Brett Morris today announces his retirement. Look, I'm obviously a little bit upset about this. Now, Brett Morris has announced his retirement, effective immediately, obviously due to the injury he suffered against Newcastle. What was it, 6 weeks ago now? It was a while ago. How will you guys remember Brett Morris as a player? Do you think he's one of the best wingers I've ever seen? Do you guys think it's a shame that he wasn't able to go out on his own terms? What do you guys reckon about Brett Morris and his career?
He's probably the greatest winger of all time.
Yeah,
best finisher of all time. The thing that I'll remember him for was 2014 State of Origin. He won those premierships with the St. George in 2010, and he won in 2018 with 2019 with the Roosters. I don't care about them because it wasn't Parramatta, but just the Origin. He was great in Origin. It is what it is. This what happens to players all the time.
What a player, honestly. Iconic player, one of the best wingers that's ever played the game. Paddy G, what are your thoughts on Brett Morris's career?
Unfortunately, get to see much of Wendell Sailor, who I think a lot of people talk about as one of the GOATs, but he's my GOAT. I think he's the best winger ever. He was one of those New South Wales locks, even when we're getting pumped every year by Queensland. I remember when he dislocated his shoulder scoring that try in Origin and just continued to play on the rest of the game. He's the greatest winger for me. Obviously, he was down a bit at the Bulldogs at one point, but he went back to the Roosters and he became probably the best winger in the competition again. I think if he hadn't retired, he'd probably be selected for Origin this year if he hadn't retired from rep footy. So I think, unfortunately, he went out not the way he would have liked. I think he would have liked a ring, but not everyone gets the fairy tale ending. Full credit to Brett Morris. I think he is the GOAT.
Yeah, look, I have to agree. Brett Morris is the best winger I've ever seen. Obviously, growing up as a kid, you turn the TV on a Sunday afternoon and you're watching B Moores with the Dragons where he's playing fullback or on the wing. I don't think it really mattered because he was great in both positions, but obviously a better winger. And I guess the other thing that's underrated as well is, obviously when he got older, he got a bit slower, but there was a play last year against South Sydney where there was a break and it was 2-on-1 and B Moores somehow stopped the tackle. I think it was think there was a break, and then I think Johnson got the ball and BMOS still made the tackle, and I think everyone was like, how the hell did he do that? But the one thing that I will always remember from Brett Morris was in 2010 when the Dragons played Manly. Now, I know the 19th men isn't going to like this, but there was a try score from BMOS. I think it was a kick down field from Matt Orford, and BMOS got the ball and he just ran behind the goalpost, and he just ran the 100 metres to score a try. It was a long-range try. It was a Sunday afternoon game against Manly. I think it was at Calgary. It was one of the best individual tries I've seen. And, I think Brett Morris will go down as one of the great wingers that's played the game. But do you guys think that, obviously it's a bit out there, but do you think immortal status for a winger could ever be a thing?
No, he's not an immortal. No. Hall of Fame, but not an immortal.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not saying a winger could never be an immortal, because Semi Radradra played 10 years. I think we could have seen wonders from him, but I think Brett Morris, he isn't an immortal. If people are talking about Billy Slater not being an immortal potentially, I don't think Brett Morris is anywhere near an immortal. Hall of Fame for sure, though.
Yeah, I don't see wingers as well being ever being considered as immortals, but I think Ben Moz is an iconic player, and I think he'll go down as one of the greatest wingers to ever play the game. And I think Ben Moz would have been good in the other eras as well. Like, you go back to the 90s and 80s, I think Ben Moz would have killed it in that era as well. But who knows? But let's get into topic number 4. We all love Ben Moz. Topic number 4. Oh, now this is something that's going to be a little bit controversial, this topic. Will the head knocks, the crackdown, all that situation, the sin bin hit to the head, will it affect State of Origin? Now, I'm a bit concerned personally, but I'd love to get your thoughts on it first, guys. Will the crackdown affect State of Origin?
Well, if they're being consistent, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to. People, they say they got a gentleman's agreement to not stay down, but why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you stay down?
Yeah.
Like, if it's the difference between winning and losing, I'll do it. Maybe it's not the most gamesman thing to do, but, you're here to win. You're not here to be a gentleman.
Yeah, yep, that's true. The 19th man, what do you reckon about it?
Still getting used to being called that. Look, it's affected the NRL season. Origin's ref differently. They've obviously already sort of changed the crackdown. A lot of players are still getting sent to the bin, but not as many. They've sort of changed their stance around that, I think. But it's inevitably going to affect Origin. You're telling me 1 set to go, Queensland parked in their line, DC, gentleman's agreement. You think he's not going to stay down if he feels a slap across their face to get Queensland in try-scoring field goal range? It's State of Origin. You dream as a kid of playing State of Origin. Sure, the 30 Gs are good, but you're out there to win. No one's going to remember who loses. You remember who wins. So, look, inevitably it's going to affect it. I guarantee you we get at least 2 sin bins. At one point, New South Wales and Queensland will both be down to 12 men, respectively.
More than likely, yeah. That will probably happen. There'll be something going on. It always is in Origin. My biggest concern with the crackdown is, obviously if you hit someone in the head deliberately, like a shoulder charge, or if you whack them in the head and you don't, if that's your intention, then fair enough, get rid of them. But the ones that are giving me the shits lately are the ones where you hit them in the shoulder, or you hit them here, and the ball's here, and it comes off the ball, hits them in the face, and you're going, it was off the ball, and then they go to the bin. So, and plus, I guess the other one that's a concern as well is when you pass the ball and you get hit late, they've been sin bins as of late, which is something that's not really getting talked about. But my biggest concern for Origin is the referees. I feel like they're going to overplay their hand. We've seen, obviously, last weekend there was a few of them where they were sin bins, but they didn't go to the sin bin, and there was some of them where you're like, okay, not a sin bin, but just a penalty. And there was so many of them on the weekend. Like in the Panthers and Tigers game on Friday night, there was that many penalties in the first half an hour. That would have been the first game I've seen this year where there's been about 15 penalties in the one half. Now, I think the head knock crackdown is going to affect Origin. I think there's going to be a lot of controversial moments, and I'm a little bit concerned. But what I don't want to see, what I'm fearing the most out of the whole thing, is if there's 2 minutes to go, 22 all, accidental high tackle, sin bin, that team is stuffed. So that's my biggest concern. But guys, what are your thoughts on the one where you pass the ball and then a player hits you late and they go into the bin? Do you think that's the correct call as well?
Yeah, definitely. If it's late, then it's late. Like the other player, like the halfback, they relax.
Yeah,
they relax. They're the most vulnerable person on the field after they pass the ball. You know, if you can't pull out, it is what it is. You take the hit. But if the player could pull out, like you know, it's always a big man hitting a little man. So if they could pull out, then definitely get rid of them, put them in the bin.
Yeah.
If you can't pull out and you've already gone for the shot and then they pass and then it looks brutal, but it's like completely legal, yeah, fine. But if they've stopped, you can clearly just not even do it. But if you want to go in there and whack them, then, you know, it's against the rules, and that's the whole point. We don't want to take out the halfbacks of the quarterbacks. In the NFL, they protect their quarterbacks like there's no tomorrow. So I think the NRL is doing the same thing. We need to protect the Nathan Clearys, the DCEs, the Reynolds, the Munsters, the Luais, because they're our money makers. So yeah. I think that fair enough, sin bin him, and if it's high, sin bin him. But, like, obviously, it's a physical game. You're going to put pressure on. If you whack him and he can't pull out, it's fine. But that's just going to be the thing is, can you pull out, can you not?
There was one in the Newcastle Parramatta game the other day where there was a late shot, but it wasn't really that bad. And they went to the sin bin, and I'm going, I don't know about that being a sin bin because, I saw a lot of Parramatta fans saying that it shouldn't have even been a sin bin. The Newcastle player. Look, to be honest, I don't even remember the tackle because the game was so hard to watch. I nearly fell asleep on the live stream. It was that bad of a game. But, you know, even that was a soft one. But, you know, obviously the halfbacks who get hit late, I've been calling for it for years. You know, you hit them late and it's, you know, and you can pull out, then, yeah, get rid of them. But I feel like they're going a little bit too far with it. Like I've seen a lot of them over the weekend where they've been hit late, but there's no sin bin. But there is a sin bin in a different one, in a different game. So there's no consistency with it for mine. So I think it's definitely something that needs to be looked at. And hopefully the NRL fix it. But I have no confidence that they'll fix it. Right, let's go on to the next topic. Friday night, we all would have saw this one. Did the West Tigers fans go too far against Ivan Cleary? They were chanting Cleary's a wanker. The Tigers fans were giving it to Ivan Cleary. I spoke to a few West Tigers fans on through the week, and they were telling me that they were going to go up to Ivan Cleary if the Tigers win. And when the Tigers were up, I knew something was going to happen because when it was 20-6, I'm like, right, it's game over. They're going to do something here, the Tigers fans, and they gave Ivan a huge spray. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think the Tigers went too far, or do you guys reckon it's fantastic?
No, get into him. Get into him. He dogged him.
Yeah, get into him.
What do you want him to do? Like if they were winning, they'd be giving it to him. It's going to be the same way when it's Penrith at Panther Stadium if they're going to win in whatever round they play again. But you know, it's all theatre of the game. Let people do what they do.
Yep.
Didn't a year ago we're sitting here talking about Ivan Cleary went too far when he was blowing Tigers fans a little kiss after they won?
No, he didn't go too far there either.
Yeah, exactly. A year later, it's the opposite. We were saying back then, next time Tigers win, they give it to Ivan. It's all fair. So it's part of the game. You know, imagine how good it's going to be. Imagine the ratings. Imagine how invested we're going to be next time Penrith play Tigers. It's going to be. Yeah. It's fun. It's sick. It's, you know, I love it. I'd love it if coaches were calling each other out or players were calling each other out. It's part of it. Dish it out and cop it. It's part of it.
Well, next time they play each other, which I'm pretty sure is round 24, so 2 weeks before the finals, I want to see one of the Panthers players call out the Tigers players, or the other way around. I want to see a bit of heat. You know, like you don't hear enough. You know, you always hear the media on TV. You know, like, oh, this player and this player and blah blah blah. I want to hear the players say something about the other players. You know, give them a spray. You know. It's State of Origin this weekend. On Wednesday night, I mean. I want to see someone call out someone else. Like I want to see Dane Gagai call out Latrell and be like, "Hey, I'm going to make you my bitch or something." You know, I want to hear players give it to each other. I don't want to hear the freaking media do it. But you know, with Ivan Cleary, I think he deserved to cop it. You know, obviously the way he left the Tigers A couple of years ago was a bit disgraceful, and I think we all have our own opinions on that one. But I guess the other situation is that I saw the Panthers boss come out and said, "Oh, let the Tigers have their 5 seconds of fame." It's between Ivan and the Tigers. Don't bring the chairman involved. Stay out of it. Let them decide what goes on. So
that Panthers chairman gets mouthy.
Oh well,
he loves having a comment.
You got to remember, back in round 5, the Panthers were giving it to the Raiders. In the 30-year anniversary. Stephen Crichton. I've got to say, Stephen Crichton, well done to him. He absolutely copped it Friday night, and he took it like anything. I was really impressed. He gave it to who was it? He gave it to back in round 5, the Canberra player. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Tarpany.
Tarpany. Gave it to Tarpany. Gave it to Tarpany.
His wife had a whinge.
That's right. His wife had a big win. And then Crichton on Friday night absolutely copped it, and I thought it was fantastic. So, good on Crichton for that. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the Tigers and Panthers go next time they play. But the other thing I want to mention on this topic now, I don't personally see this happening, but do you see a potential rivalry between these two sides, Tigers and Panthers?
Hope so. I want to see every rivalry.
Yeah.
I wish every team had a rivalry every single week. I wish I'd just given it to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
What about you,
hope it's a rivalry, but considering where the Panthers and Tigers are at clubs at the moment, I think as long as Panthers players are all healthy next time these two teams play, it'll be the other side getting the W. So,
I suppose, yeah.
But that'll be awesome. But that'll be so good. You got the Panthers giving it to the Tigers.
Yeah, exactly. But look, you want every game to be a rivalry, don't you? You want everyone just to hate each other. It's a battlefield. Footy's a battlefield. You kill each other on it, then get smashed at the pub together afterwards. That's what footy is.
Well, back in the day, that's what would happen. You go out there, you bash someone, you bash your opposition for 80 minutes, and then you go to the pub and have a beer and have a good night. That's what happened back in the day. But now you can't even you can't do that much nowadays. But what I will
say one more thing. I'll just say one thing.
Go right ahead.
Cleary is a wanker. I will say that. Okay.
Look, everyone knows I've never liked Cleary or Ivan. I think they're both idiots. I've never really liked them. Everyone knows how I feel about them. But what I will say about this Tigers-Panthers thing is I don't see it becoming a rivalry. Like I've seen a lot of people online today say that it's like Roosters and Souths. They need to really relax because it's nothing like Roosters Souths. They need to really calm down on that. But look, I don't think it will become a rivalry, but I want to see it become a rivalry because everyone knows we've got the big rivalries, Roosters Souths, Eels Dogs, Bronx Cows, Manly Cronulla, Parramatta versus Manly. But there's a lot of great rivalries, but Penrith versus West could be a rivalry of the future, and I want to see something else. Obviously Ivan, what he did when he left was personal, and Tigers fans give it to him was whatever. But I want to see something get deeper. I want to see a deeper thing happen. Like I don't want to say anything bad, but I want to see something really personal happen. Like make it worth watching. So, but if Ivan wasn't there, it'd just be another regular game, wouldn't it? So. I'm hoping that we get a rivalry out of it, but I don't see it happening, but you never know, I guess. Topic number 2. Now, this is interesting. Now, on Thursday night, Jack de Belin made his return. Obviously, I think it was a very emotional night for Jack de Belin. He made his return, first time in, 2 years? How long is it since he played? 2 years? It's been a while.
2018, right?
Yeah, a long time. I think, the game against South in that semi-final.
Yeah, the finals game, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Jack de Belin returned Thursday night, and he had a pretty, I don't want to say great game, but maybe a solid game. I thought he was okay.
He was fine. He was solid.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, he did miss one tackle that led to a try.
He was good with the ball, missed a couple tackles.
Did his job.
Yeah, he did a good job. And I think he'll get better as the year goes on, the more games he plays. But the question is Jack de Belin, can Jack de Belin make the Dragons a finals team? Now, at the moment, they are coming 8th on the ladder. They have fallen down a little bit. They were 4th and 5th for a while. Now they've gone down to 8th. They've got DeBellin back. They're getting Lomax back soon. Can Jack DeBellin make the Dragons a top 8 side for the finals this year?
No, we can't. But no, they can still be a top 8 team, but not because of him. It's because of Dufty. Yeah. That's the only way they're scoring points. If they get rid of him, you may as well pencil him in for the bottom 8 straight away. He's their most influential player, and they're dickheads for letting him go.
Oh, we will definitely talk about that. We'll definitely get into that one as well, Dufty.
Dragons are already in that battling with every club for 6th, 7th, 8th. So I don't think DeBellin pushes them into that top 5. I just think it's the same with him without him. I don't think he's Tommy Turbo. That's for sure. But he's still a freak. And, it's going to take him a couple of weeks. How many rule changes have happened in the past year, let alone since 2018? Jonathan Thurston was around when Jack DeBellin played his last game. That's how long Jack DeBellin's been out of the game. So, give him some time. He did his job. He looked pretty good. Just let him a bit.
I told everyone, when Jack DeBellin returned on Thursday night, I told everyone, I said, give him 4 weeks to adjust. It'll take time. Now, from what I understand, he did 2 preseason trainings of 8 weeks, so he's done about 4 months of training, so he's fit as an ox. He's ready to go. He looked okay the other night. I'd probably give him like a 5 out of 10. I thought he was solid, nothing amazing, but I expected him to have a bit of a decent game, nothing amazing. But like you said, Dragons will probably be in one of those teams between 6 and 12, fighting for those last spots more than likely. They've got a decent run. I had a look at the draw. The Dragons have a decent draw the next couple of weeks. They've got the Bulldogs this weekend on Monday, or next Monday, I should say now. So that'll be, you would think, an easy win for the Dragons in that Queen's birthday game. And, they've got a good run. All those teams that are around the top 8, there's a lot of teams that have got good draws and bad draws. Like the Gold Coast, they've got a very hard draw. They've got the Roosters this weekend, and then I think they're playing another top side after that. So the Dragons, they're looking okay for mine, but I think DeBellin will get better as the year goes on. But let's talk about Matt Dufty. What are they doing? Dufty's gone. He got told to get stuffed, basically. Can you guys believe what's going on here? Dufty's getting told to go look elsewhere. I think the Dragons have gone mad. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, Anthony Griffin obviously thinks Cody Ramsey's the next immortal, so they're putting him at the back. And then, it's ridiculous. I heard Dufty could be off to the Raiders in a couple of weeks. So
wow.
So if that happens, then they're gone. Dragons are done.
I think it's a silly decision, but Phil Gould's come out and said, because I think they had him involved at one point, it's off-field issues, so I have no idea what that could mean, and obviously some things are bigger than what's actually on the field, but nothing's come out in public, and everything in rugby league comes out in public, so it can't be too bad.
What could be off-field issues?
He's not having a punch on a train. Yeah, he's not having punches at training, or is he? And if he's demanding $1 million, maybe don't go there. You're not going to give him that. But who else is going to give him $1 million? So, look, I know what the issue is. I'd sign him if I was the Dragons. Who are you going to sign? There's no fullbacks off contract. And
they want Cody Ramsey.
Cody Ramsey's not the next immortal. So, look, I'd keep Dufty around. As Trev said, he's the only one scoring points for him. Yeah. He just had 2 tries and 5 try assists. If Tommy Trbojevic or Gutherson or Tedesco does that, everyone's sucking him off for the next 3 weeks. Tom had 2 tries and 4 try assists a couple of weeks ago, saying it's the best performance of all time. Dufty's one-upped it, and people are still saying, he's not even worth 700K. It's, I feel bad for him.
What I'm going to say about this, Cody Ramsey to fullback, well, I'm sorry to you Dragons fans out there that are watching. Cody Ramsey is fucking shit. He ain't no fullback. Did you watch him against Cronulla the other week? Oh, my God. He had one of the worst games I've ever seen from a fullback. He was shocking. He reminded me of when Valentine Holmes made his return for the Cowboys. He was so shit.
Reminds me of Valentine Holmes every week.
Cody Ramsey's he's only a kid, I understand, but if it's like a smaller version of Matt Dufty, but he doesn't have any ball playing and he doesn't have any defense. And Griffin's always talking about, it's about Dufty's defense. How many other fullbacks are in the game that can't defend for their lives? I mean, Val Holmes is playing fullback for Queensland this weekend, and he's he can't defend a fullback for his life. We all know that. And, there's a lot of really sloppy defenders at fullback, and Griffin's worried about that. Ramsey's defense is probably worse than Duffy's. So I don't know what on earth is going on there. But and what you were saying about the Gus Gould thing, I mean, Gus and Griffin have never got on. So I'm not surprised that Gus has said something. I'm not shocked there. They've never got on.
Yeah, well, if the Dragons, if Duffy's so bad at defense, maybe the Dragons should have a tackle. Maybe not let the ball. Maybe let them get to him.
Exactly.
He has to make so many tackles.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the Dragons, the Dragons have been probably the biggest surprise pack of the year. Everyone had them in their bottom 4 at the start of the year. I had them 15th. Everyone had them for the spoon with the Tigers, and they're in the top 8, and they've got DeBellum back now, and they're starting to get a few things going. So good on the Dragons for playing, for improving. But if they get rid of Duffy, they are with the Bulldogs and the Broncos down the bottom. They are absolutely cooked, and they got to figure out who's going to be 5'8" next year, because Corey Norman, you can't possibly be keeping him at the club next year as well. So a few issues to sort out for a few issues for the Dragons, but they're starting to become a better team.
This isn't another
Ramsey will be 5'8" next year. He'll play 2 positions. Is that good? Cody Ramsey. He'll play 2 positions. Is that good?
This isn't another height thing, though, for Duffy, is it? Is that what's – because that's the secret suspicion I've got. Is it another, this player's too short, he can't get to under the high balls? Because the amount of stories we hear from Channel 9 commentators when a player's come up like a Slater or Preston Campbell, he was tall when he was younger, he was too small. But, every club still does it.
Stories.
Is that – but I've got a gut feeling that's what's going on here. I think
I
Griffin's going –
I really hope not. Now, Cody Ramsey's almost as small as Matt Duffy as well.
Cody Ramsey. He's saying no Godzilla.
Maybe it's not that, but that's just my gut feeling, because I can't see why. Duffy's still young. People don't give players enough time. What is he, 20-something? Like 22, 23?
Yeah.
Not even? He made his debut a couple years ago, so let him grow. Tedesco wasn't the best player in his first couple of years. No one is. Give him a chance.
No. Matt Duffy's 25.
Yeah, give him time. Players 40's the new 30. You don't retire till you're 40 with all the sports science stuff anymore. He's probably got another 10, 15 years in him. So just let him have a go. Just give him some time.
I just don't understand it. I mean, obviously I was watching the Dragons Broncos game the other night. In the first half, I was watching Cody Ramsey on the wing, and there was parts of that game where I'm going, maybe Cody Ramsey should be dropped for a week, because he had a shocking first half. And then I'm going, whatever happened to Jordan Pereira in the team? How come he's not getting a run anymore? I mean,
he's suspended, right?
Yeah, Teddy shot Anzac Day.
For that hit on, isn't it for the hit on Pappenhausen, or was that for Amano?
That was for Amano.
I think. Jordan Pereira, I mean, where's he at? I mean, he was always good at getting the sets rolling for the Dragons. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I did hear the Broncos are going to offer him a 2-year deal, but we'll see what happens there. But that might wrap up the Dragons situation. I've had enough of the Dragons.
Jeez, talking about shit fullbacks, though, how shit is Jermaine Asako?
Oh my God.
He's almost as bad as Valentine Holmes.
Imagine letting go of Reece Walsh for Jermaine Asako, bro. Kevin's bringing the Broncos back. What a decision. Greatest decision of all time.
Glory days of 2020.
We didn't even write this down, but we'll talk about it. My God, Jermaine Asako. If you're looking at fullbacks in the competition, he'd have to be the worst fullback in the game. Watching him on the other night was that bad. I could go out there and play fullback and do a better job, and I'm not even fit enough for football at the moment. I'm overweight. I'm probably more overweight than what I've ever been. So, I mean, having Jermaine Asako at fullback for the Broncos, I mean, they're kidding themselves. They're playing Canberra this weekend in Canberra. They can't possibly have Asako at fullback. I mean, but the question is, who do you put at fullback for the Broncos? I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Herbie Farnworth go to fullback, try something different.
Give Herbie a go.
Yeah.
Give Herbie a go.
Do they have a genuine fullback in their top 30? Or
I heard they're trying to try and put Herbie there next year.
So they don't even have like a genuine out-and-out fullback, unless Herbie was playing fullback coming up. So
who's the kid that played on the weekend? What's his name? Cobbo?
Cobbo.
What's
He's a
Tessie
fullback
New?
now.
Tessie New, wasn't he getting big raps? What's he doing? Is he injured or suspended?
Jeez.
I thought he was the next big thing.
Wherever he is, he can stay there if he's playing fullback.
Oh my God.
Wasn't he the next big thing? I just can't believe they let go of Reece Walsh. That's the two top rookies this year, arguably, are like two of the top 5 of Sam Walker and Reece Walsh, who could have both been at Brisbane this year.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Hunt said, someone said.
Oh, he could play.
He could, but we'll see. I'd give him a crack. Why not?
Oh my God, anyone over a sucker?
I can't see Michael Hunt playing fullback, but you've got to do something. You can't have a psycho at fullback, you know.
Well, where are you going to play Carmichael Hunt this week if he plays? Centre?
5'8"? Oh, no. Hang on.
No, because you're not going to lose
Gamble.
Kelly. He's been their best player.
Yeah,
and Gamble brought Broncos back to life a couple of weeks ago, so he gets all year now.
Tyson Gamble's the future immortal, mate.
I think
the Broncos.
I agree.
Albert Kelly is right. He's been playing really well, Albert Kelly.
Yeah, Albert Kelly's been Broncos' best player the last month. However as long as
David Mead. Oh, someone said David Mead can play fullback.
What about do they go the route, the 2019 route? And I know he's had 50 million chances, but he's on $1 million. Do you put Milford at fullback?
No, Milford's injured. He hurt his knee. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, there you go. Pretend I said anything.
Anthony Milford is so shit. I would rather spray deodorant in my mouth. He is that bad, honestly. I never, ever want to see him put a Broncos jersey on again. He is a disgusting player. He's as bad as Ash Taylor. They are both shit.
He was an all right winger a couple of years ago, but moving to fullback was not the best decision. Why did they go for Reece Walsh?
Osaka's a good winger.
Yeah, he's a good winger. Yeah, I got to say, a couple of weeks ago when the Broncos beat the Roosters down there at the SCG, I thought that was the game where I was like, okay, maybe they're not as shit as what they've been producing. Maybe they could finish around that 12th, 11th position. Yeah, gee, boy, I was wrong on that one. Oh, my God.
Yes, sir.
They are bad. To their credit, they've done okay against the good sides, Broncos. I mean, they almost beat Penrith. They almost beat Parham round 1. They beat the Chooks. They got hammered against Souths. And they got flogged against Melbourne. So they've done okay against some of the good teams, but my God.
They love that first 20 minutes. They get all keen for Kevy. Oh, let's go, boys. Let's rip it. And they go for 20 minutes. And then as soon as something goes against them, like a Manly, it was 0-0 for 25 minutes or whatever. And then as soon as Saab goes down the line. Sorry, I bring Manly up again. But when Manly scored, it was floodgates open. And it happened against Melbourne with Pappenhausen and scored like 3 tries in 3 minutes. And it just, every week, you think, oh, Brisbane might have a chance here because they play well the first 20 minutes and have a crack. And then they just go. Their team's so young. They're just... Seabolt made a lot of decisions that just haven't paid off. And they're still recovering. I just remembered.
Tony Staggs is back in 2 weeks, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is the only player that can make them a better team. He's the only one.
He's playing 5'8". He's playing 5'8".
I think he will. I think he'll play 6. There's talk about him playing
Kelly. What's your brother
said?
Josh said they signed him to play 6, didn't he? Anyway, anyway, that's what we were talking about.
Unless you play Herbie at fullback and you put Tony at centre. I mean, I don't know how that will go, but
Tony Staggs' weapon.
He signed there to play 6.
Yeah,
so he'll play 6, otherwise he'll chuck a shit.
Yeah, he'll have a big win. He'll go on a fucking, a 5-day.
Well,
he's going to rant.
Well, if they sign him and they promised him 6, got to give him 6. Don't be holdouts.
Plus, you're not going to kick Kelly over him, even though we just talked about his best player, or gamble. Because Tony Staggs is...
Don't sign Sean Johnson now.
Sean Johnson's going to the Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs or Raiders, I'm hearing. One of those two.
Raiders should get Aiden Caesar back.
Aiden Caesar, yeah.
On cheap if they can.
I heard he wants to come back, so... I think the Bulldogs are there.
Why didn't the Broncos go after like a Gareth Widdop or like a Benji Marshall even, like all these experienced guys off contract?
Because Kevy's not good at anything.
Apparently so. Kevy's had a sneaker.
If the Broncos are in the same position next year as they are right now, Kevy will be gone. I guarantee you that. Broncos can't be this shit forever because they're impatient up there on Red Hill. But let's move on to the final topic of the show. State of Origin preview for Game 1 now. I know Trevor from Shut the Gates and Toby did their preview last night. I did mine last night as well. I don't think 19th Man's done his one yet, but I'm interested. What do you boys reckon? Who wins Origin on Wednesday night? 2 days now, 48 hours away, basically. Who wins?
New South Wales. They win 13 to 18 points.
Ooh, okay. I like that. That'd be good. 19th Man?
New South Wales have to win because Freddie has never won in Queensland, apparently. I think that was the stat I read.
Yeah,
and he have 2 games there. So if you don't win Game 1 and you have to go to Suncorp for Game 2 and you have to win there, you're done for. You have to win this one, and I think they will. I think New South Wales can get the job done, although not 13, 18 points, at least for me. I think it's going to be close. It all just depends on Nathan Cleary. Can he find his Origin balls? That is the question on everyone's mind. Can Nathan Cleary find his Origin balls? We'll find out in 48 hours.
I wonder if he has any balls. That'll be the real thing on Wednesday night. Yeah, look, I reckon New South Wales will win as well, but I think it'll be close. I'm going Blues by 6. But, look, obviously, you just hit the nail on the coffin there. Nathan Cleary. This is his last chance for mine. I don't give a shit about his age. I don't give a shit about his age. He has played more than 10 games. He's only had about 2 good ones out of the 10. He has to stand up on Wednesday night or else. I'm serious. I don't care about Brad Fittler and his Penrith and Roosters bias. I do not give a shit. If Cleary has
you give him the whole series, surely. You give him the whole series.
Nah, I've had enough. No, last year was enough. Last year was enough for me. I've had enough. This is his last chance for mine. I've had enough of it. Last year, Game 3, I don't care what anyone says. It cost New South Wales the game. It was the 78th minute and 30th second, so it was tackle free. There was a minute and a half to go. New South Wales are on the attack. Cleary grubbers it in free for Crichton. Crichton's not a chance to get into the ball. The ball goes dead, and it's tackle free. Why would you kick it on tackle free, 10 metres out, and you go for a repeat set? That's not what you do. And when Cleary kicked it, Crichton was like, wait, what? I didn't know you were kicking the ball. No communication. He's got no leadership. He's a massive concern. Everyone's talking about Jerome Luai being the biggest concern. What about Cleary? He has only had 2 good games out of 10 in Origin. I'm very concerned for Cleary. And I don't know who you put in to replace him if he has a bad game. But knowing Fittler, he won't sack him at all unless he gets injured. But
no, he shouldn't be sacked either. You can't sack someone after the first game. You can't do it.
Yeah,
you have to give him.
Yeah,
you have to give him the series. If
they didn't cut Walker last year.
Yeah, that's because who cares? You can't. You shouldn't. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you give the team time to build.
Yeah, I think you give him games, you give him the series, especially if you've gone balls deep and put Luai there. And Luai, if Cleary plays bad, Luai will play bad because of their combo. At least I think. And look, it's a big series for Cleary, but they have Tommy Turbo, so New South Wales 13 plus.
I just feel there's no more excuses for Nathan. There's no more excuses. You've got so many great players. You've got Teddy, you've got Latrell, Turbo, Luai, Cook. They're all match winners in their own right. So Nathan's going to be the one, I guess, to blame if they lose because, you're the halfback, you're the orchestrator, you're the leader. Take control of the game or perish. It's simple as that. Don't fail, Nathan, because in my opinion, Cameron Munster is the best clutch player in the competition. That's what I reckon, especially in these big games. Munster always delivers, regardless.
He delivers He delivers the whole game, but I would say almost, even though I hate Val Holmes, I would say he's almost the most clutch player in the last dying seconds of a game.
Yeah,
if you're kicking a field goal or something like that, you give it to Val Holmes. I hate him, but you have to.
If you're going to field goal, you give it to the guy with the most field goals in Golden Point history, DCE. But I think
Well-
Teddy's the clutchest player in NRL because
If you go on full game,
I think, but no, he got the Origin winning try in 2019 and the grand final that same year. So
yeah,
I
but that was
give
with 10
Teddy-
minutes to go. That's with 10 to go still, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
no, but
hence
still
it's too tough to clutch.
Dying,
Still
dying seconds.
Well,
Not
you're
dying seconds,
still
still 10 minutes, still ages ago.
I know, but it's,
How like the other team can
Origin
still
was
come back.
dying. Origin was dying seconds.
Well-
No, still a few minutes left.
No, it wasn't. That was the last play of the game, wasn't it?
which one?
The 2019
Game
Fergo
two.
down the sideline on the inside to Teddy.
Was
Game
about
3 decider.
What, 30 seconds left, wasn't it?
What? But
Yeah.
still also he was just like there to back up. You know, I would say in that situation, Fergo was the clutch guy.
Still got to
And
be there
Pierce.
though.
And
He
Pierce,
was
you
there
have to be there,
twice.
but that's just you have to be there. That's the
Mitchell Pearce,
let's pull back shot.
Mitchell
Cameron
Pearce,
Mitchell
Murray.
Pearce.
Cameron Murray threw the ball to Mitchell Pearce, and Damien Cook threw the ball to Cameron Murray. So Damien Cook, clutchest player of all time.
Anyway, New South Wales are all clutch, but they've got to get it right. But Vet Holmes, obviously he's great at field goals. We saw like the other week against the Warriors, he kicked that field goal against the Warriors. That went, that ball could have went 50. Like that ball was going for it, and it's being played at Townsville. So if it was 18 all, Queensland at 50 out. Vet Holmes can easily smash those field goals from 58 if he can do it against the Warriors. That ball would have went 50 easily.
Yeah,
That's,
If the Warriors
that's,
have it.
that's too good of an omen to ignore. I'm concerned now. The fact he just kicked the field goal in Townsville, and now the game's being played in Townsville.
Shane Brown.
Valentine Holmes, anytime try. You gotta put it down.
If he's playing fullback, I'm not backing him for a try, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
I think you got whoever's on that edge with Capewell defending with Capewell, whoever he's defending, that center's going to carve up.
Latrell.
Get him on the outside. Get him on the outside. Get Latrell on the outside of Capewell, and he'll get him all day.
I said last night when I did my preview, Latrell Mitchell will be the man of the match on Wednesday night because Kurt Capewell's up against Latrell. He's not up against Gutherson. Love Guffo, great player, but Latrell is that better of a strike player.
Is it so? Gaga's on the right.
Left.
Cape
That guy's on the left, and he'll be up against
Tommy then.
Tommy, and and Capewell will play right centre. Latrell will be left centre, so that'll be the side. So
Yeah.
Latrell's the strongest runner in the NRL, strongest outside back runner in the NRL.
Oh, he'd be the best center in the game if he was still playing it. He's a
Definitely.
fucking weapon.
Well, I was having a look at the odds today, and if you go on the sports bet, there's a market player of the match. Latrell Mitchell was paying $23 for man of the match Wednesday night.
Get on.
I am
Get
definitely
on.
jumping on that.
Latrell
That
4
is-
tries. You heard it here first.
I can't.
4 tries. Holy yeah.
I got Cookie first try scorer. That's paying about 40. Get on that.
Yeah, no, that is good.
Yeah.
Cookie
That's a really
first
good one.
try.
I'm going Brian Toto on that right wing. I think he'll be he's playing right wing this time. So it's with Turbo, and if Nathan can kick the ball correctly in Origin and just get the ball to Toto, I feel like he could be a handful because Toto he'll be up against probably Xavier Coates. I think Coates will go to the left wing, Felt will stay on the right wing. That's what I think will happen. I think for the first try they just pass it through their hands. Yeah.
I don't think they try to go the air that much.
Tommy versus Gags would be a mouth-watering matchup, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What would
That's
you say
box
is
office.
what would you say is the best matchup for Origin 1 in your opinion?
Oh man,
Tough
best
question.
matchup.
They're not positionally, but can I put Haas and Tino? Just in case they get it on again.
Yeah.
Someone, one of them throw one, please. 12v12 at least.
Yeah.
Someone's got to throw one.
Well, fuck Valani, just throw a punch. Don't listen to Valando.
Isn't that what? Aren't they all going on strike to get him sacked anyway? That's how you make a statement. You just start punching on. Everyone's going to get sin bin for eye contact.
Well, more than likely. I reckon the best matchup is going to be
Munster and DC. Munster and Cleary, if you want to go Luai, but
Oh yeah, Munster and Cleary same side. Yeah.
Yeah, Munster and Cleary.
I'm going to go Tedesco versus Holmes. I think Tedesco's, he's been great, but he hasn't been at his elite best. And Holmes has been playing pretty good for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's in a bit of form, so I reckon that'd be a great matchup. Tedesco will probably win the matchup, but we all know what Holmes can do when he has momentum and shit like that. He can do anything. But I guess another matchup that goes a bit underrated is Cameron Murray is going to play right edge against David Fafita, who's going to play Queensland's left edge. So that'll be a really good matchup.
I hate it. I hate Cameron Murray on an edge.
Really?
They should have put Isaiah Yeo in the edge. Cameron Murray, what are you going to do with him out there? Gets a quick play the ball, like 10 out from the sideline. Who cares?
I feel like if they were going to go with that, I feel like maybe Liam Martin should have started on that right edge and put, Murray on the bench maybe.
I think Cameron Murray should have been on the bench.
I
think he's a better player than all those guys, but I think for what he does with his quick play the ball, bring him on 30th minute, get him in there. Cook on Luai.
I would have put Tarek on Fafita because Tarek's that sort of guy where you just go, mate, this dude, because he's such an aggressive player, you go, mate, you make him your bitch, and Tarek just goes after Fafita all game. That would be a sick matchup because Tarek can get up for one game, and I think that's why Freddie's picked him because New South Wales need a grub in there. They don't have a grub. They're too nice. That is
be better. Be harder, New South.
All right. What is the dud pick? So is there anyone from the Blues team that you think is a dumb prediction, like a dumb selection for the team? Do you think there's anyone in the team that shouldn't be there?
Oh, they all make sense for me. I don't think you can really go, this guy has no chance of being there. Obviously, I don't think Sims would be there if Crine and Frizzell were available.
Yeah,
I'd still think Martin would be on the bench if they wouldn't drop. They drop Sims entirely, but with all the injury suspensions, it happens every year. We're never going to get the best 17 versus best 17. It's just the way the sport works. But in both teams, you can't really look. I'm surprised Reid Marnie isn't starting, let alone being dropped from the squad entirely. Because he's the best dummy half, at least on the Dally M leaderboard, which is what the NRL want to keep so much, which is a load of crap. But still, by that logic, he's the best dummy half in the world, and you're going to put a guy who hasn't even played a full game, make him play 80 minutes.
Harry Grant, is he overrated? I reckon. What's he done this year?
I don't know if he's overrated, but still, I'd put Reid Marnie at 9 every day. I would have had him at 9 no matter what and had Harry Grant on the bench. Why are you going to have Brimo on the bench? Brimo's not Pappenhausen.
I've got a bit of a controversial statement here. There's 3 players in the Blues team I don't think should be there. I'm serious. Now, this is going to piss everyone off.
James Tedesco, Tom Trbojevic, and Josh Adokar. Go on, you say it.
Okay. The first player I think who doesn't deserve to be there is Jake Trbojevic. I'm sorry. I
don't like him.
Really?
He's the new Josh Jackson. He's so bland. Get rid of him.
I love him.
I just don't think Trbojevic deserves to be there. Look, he's been sold the last 2 or 3 games, but that's because Origin selection was up in the air. But if you go back from round 1 to round 8, Jake Trbojevic was looking like a really slow forward. He was not doing much at all. So, I love Jake. I think he's a fantastic player, but I don't think his form deserves to be in the side, but I understand it because he's been there and done it before. But I'm not particularly happy that he's there. But if he has a bad game, I don't think he'll be there for game 2 because there was a bit of doubt about a month ago of him actually being in the team, and I said I don't think he should be there either. The other one I don't like is Jack White on the bench. Look, I've been saying it all year. Jack White has been very shit. If there was a top 5 list of the most backwards players of the year, Jack White would be in that category. He has been awful. I know Canberra have been shithouse. I know that.
I don't think he has been awful. What else could he do?
I don't like how he's there. I feel like there's so many better utility players. I understand why he's there. Again, experience, big body, can do a job. I just don't like him now. His form hasn't shown me anything, and he's probably had 2 good games this year max, if that.
Who would you put in there over him?
Well, there's a few guys you can throw in now. I think Stephen Crichton could be a great utility. Gutherson.
How do you get him into the game?
You bring him on. You just let him play. Even Cody Walker. I mean, Cody Walker could be like Craig Wing back in the day. Just get him out there. Cody Walker's played plenty of games around dummy half.
You're not gonna chuck either of Gutho or Cody Walker in the middle of the field, though. Jack
No
White
way.
can come on and play literally anywhere and do a job because he's a big body, he's strong defensively, and he can burst through anyone. Cody Walker couldn't even defend for 10 minutes in the middle. He's a great 6, but he can't play lock or anything. He only comes on if there's an injury in the spine or in the back line.
See, this is why it sucks that Victor Bradley got suspended, because he would have been the perfect guy to come on the middle and just do whatever. But
he would have been playing 13. Radley would have played 13, definitely.
Yeah, Radley would have played 13.
Yeah, Bradley would have, and I think Yo would have been that, player just plays anywhere. But
Pappenhausen was the utility no matter what, wasn't he? Because he would just do what he did for Melbourne, just come on and play lock.
Pappenhausen would have been perfect, but unfortunately he's not there. I don't know, man. Jack White this year for mine has been a bit of a sour taste. He does a lot of dumb things on the field, and I hope he proves me wrong on Wednesday night, but I'm not really happy that he's in the side. And I guess the other one, look, Liam Martin, I think he's a fantastic player. I love Liam Martin. He's the future. But you mean to tell me that Liam Martin's playing better than Pangai Jr.? You've got to be joking, right? Pangai Jr. has been unreal. I know the Broncos are going really, really shit, but he's been their standout player with Payne Haas. And Payne Haas still got...
I just think Tavita Pangai does a lot of stupid things.
He's like a Tarek Sims. He'll turn it on one game, but he's lazy as. Marty Tau had a field day with him the other week, and he was shitting against Melbourne. Let
me change that. I'd keep Liam Martin. I'd get rid of Tarek Sims. I would have had Pangai over Tarek Sims. All right. Tarek Sims, obviously, we know what he can do on his day, but he's so inconsistent. Like, I was watching the Dragons game on Channel 9 the other day, the other week. I think it was a Sunday game they played. I can't remember who they played. And Brad Fittler was giving Tarek Sims a spray, and I'm going, all right, well, Tarek Sims ain't going to get picked. And then next minute, he's getting picked in the team. So, I mean, look, obviously, Brad Fittler's got his favourites. You've got experience. You've got youth, and you've got all that. But I feel like if you're going to have Tarek now over Pangai Jr., I mean, what's the go there? Pangai Jr.'s, in my opinion, he's a much better player than Tarek Sims.
I have Josh.
But I thought you wanted to get rid of Liam Martin just a second ago.
Yeah, I know, but I got mixed up with who I was talking about. See, Liam Martin, he's played a few games this year in the front row. Like, he can play a few positions. Pangai Jr., you put him on an edge, you put him in the middle. It don't matter. I think he suits Origin, Pangai Jr.
Until he does that 74th minute offload.
And then I would have had so many players over Pangai Jr. I would have had Madison. I'm biased as shit, but I would have had Josh Schuster. I just think Pangai's so inconsistent.
He has
one good game every 10 weeks. Like,
I think in 2 years' time. Sorry, go on.
Maybe. But, Pangai, if he went to Melbourne, they could turn him into a beast, but he's just fallen victim to that struggling side. He's lazy. Most of the time, he's uneventful. Sure, he can do a sick dive in the corner like a winger like he did a couple of months ago, but I wouldn't have him anywhere near that New South Wales team. But, come on more. I just want to get Angus back.
I think 2 years' time, Josh Schuster's the perfect utility, number 14.
Yeah, I agree. I think so as well. I like Schuster. I think he's good. Do you think he's a better back row or 5'8"?
5'8".
I think he'll want to play 5'8". Manly promised him 5'8" for next year as well. So,
well, Kieran Foran's apparently back this weekend. What happens there with Foran and Schuster?
I reckon Schuster goes back to back row, and Manly's got everyone back this round at least. So maybe they can afford to. No, they'll lose. They don't have Tom. Never mind. I'm shutting up right now. But they do have everyone back.
They will have Tom this week.
No, he went back up. It's only 48 hours because they'll have to do the captain's run the next day. And Manly take him off after the 70th minute anyway. Plus, Cowboys, you don't want to really play him at home against them because
I reckon he'll be on the bench at least. At the very least, he'll be on the bench.
He'll be on the extended bench, yeah. You'll just
see
how
he goes. He'll be on the actual bench.
Really?
I reckon he'll play. Assuming he doesn't get injured, he'll play.
I don't think he will. I don't know if Jake and Cherry will play.
If there's ever a time, if there's ever a time to rest Tom, I think it would be this weekend. But it depends, I guess, on the team list tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. But so what's your guys' man of the match for Origin? Like, what's your man of the match prediction for Wednesday night?
Man of the match, shit. Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah, me too. I'm going Latrell as well.
I'm going Nathan Cleary.
Cleary. I hope it's
Look at him. I'm backing Nathan Cleary.
If Nathan Cleary is man of the match, then we win by 30 points.
Comfortably. Bro, we have the best player in the world, Teddy, the best and the two best form players in the world, Cleary and Tom, on the same team.
Yeah.
Which means Queensland will win.
Nathan Cleary better be man of the match. He better be, because I'll tell you what, if he has a shocker, I'll be bringing out the sword for him. I'll tell you that much. But all right. So before we get out of here, what's your I don't know, your margin for the Origin game Wednesday night? So I'm going to go Blues. I'm going to go by 6. I'll go 18-12. That's what I reckon will happen.
New South Wales 13-18.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll go New South Wales 6 again. I'm going to go like 26-16.
All right, sounds good. Well, I think we've wrapped up all the topics. That might do it, guys. What do you reckon? Is that it? What do you guys reckon?
Sounds like it to me.
Don't think there's anything else to discuss. Or if you want, I know it's early. Do you guys want to go through some tips for the weekend? Early tips?
No, I got my own video coming out tomorrow.
All right, too easy. Yeah, me too, actually. I don't even know who I'm tipping at this stage. I don't even know who's playing. Having a look at the score. Holy hell, something going on in the background there. Anyway, guys, that's it for the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 12. The return of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And big thank you to Trevor from Shut the Gates and the 19th man, a.k.a. Paddy G, for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on, fellas.
Cheers, mate.
And make sure you guys go and check out their YouTube channels and like the goddamn video, because you don't want to dislike it, because that's a bad idea. But we're getting out of here, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Link in the description.